So, peeps, we want to dive into the lyrics because I wrote this battle 2 years ago. This was the first battle that I wrote on my own because I'm not the best writer. And these were two characters where I really wanted to dive into in a passion project. I watched the Shining movie 10 times for this. And I watched the Bates Motel series and the Psycho movies. Not the sequels, I think, just like the first Psycho movie and glimpsed through the sequels, but they didn't really make it into the battle lyrics because, I don't know, wasn't really anything to talk about there. Now, Dylan,
Jack.
and oh god, I am not happy with the lip sync of this battle, but I think since then we.
Would you mind not throwing a fit in my business? With that grimace, you don't lay a welcome mat from what I've witnessed.
There was a thing with the welcome mat in The Shining and the Bates Motel, either one of those, where they wanted to greet them friendly, and since there's the very famous Kubrick stare, right? I wanted to mention that, like, with that grimace, you don't really laying a welcome mat out. Weird phrasing, but that's how I did it. And I thought that, would you mind not throwing a fit in my business is something that Norman Bates would say, especially the Freddie Highmore Norman Bates. I've known some shitty role models. Your obsession brought you slaughter. Now I'll make this the part 2 of writing frantic, frivolous thoughts. So here directly dives into the ending of The Shining. And this is the part where I illustrate the past of Norman Bates. So back then, Norman Bates had his first basically stroke or seizure type of situation where he went out of his mind and stabbed his father because he was attacking his mother. And so he's saying now this is the part 2 of him getting rid of frantic, frivolous fathers, comparing Jack Torrance to his own father. Yeah. And some reactions thought that it was like Jack Torrance and then the Shining sequel or something, but it's not. No. So Kubrick
now the author of this author is flooding his floors with bad blood.
So you know the whole shtick where, like, the real life shtick where Kubrick has where Stephen King has like the bad blood with Stanley Kubrick for doing the Shining ending like that in the whole movie, because the Shining Hotel was supposed to burn down, which it's not here in this movie, and the whole story was a little different. So I wanted to mention the scene where the floors get flooded with blood, and I thought connecting that to the bad blood that Kubrick and Stephen King have, or that Stephen King has with Kubrick, could be cool with this. So, like, now the author, Stephen King, of this author, Jack Torrance, is flooding the Shining's floors with bad blood.
My footsteps were
I really had these, like, mad for you layers in these bars that, like, nobody gets, but you know, that's how it was. My footsteps are what my plan brought.
With all the friends that I have.
All the friends that I have left. So he left footsteps, and actually in an episode they saw his footsteps at a murder scene in the series, and he basically killed all of his friends and all of the girlfriends that he ever had, and takes pride in it. He actually takes pride in it.
Well, your path throws your guts to death.
I'll check you as Jack Frost. You know, Jack Torrance freezes to death at the end of the movie. And I thought it could be funny if we just have him like, all right, I'll check you in the motel as Jack Frost because he froze to death.
When is Jack Frost?
Right. Child and his mother are corrected the disturbance. Really weird phrasing, but I thought that's how he eventually talks. Because he's like trying to be a poet and an author. He corrected the disturbance. He actually, I think this isn't a too weird phrasing because they actually said that in the movie. Like, I need to. Oh, right. Remember that one scene in the toilet? Seth, if you watched The Shining, in the toilet when he saw the butler, and then like the butler told him, "You need to correct the disturbance." That's what he actually said. So like, he's like, there was a mother and a child, and I corrected the disturbance.
Now they sent me
both of those cases, the child and the mother, in one goddamn person. Because Norman is like both the mom persona and the son persona in one person.
Gotcha.
So now you got both of those cases again. It's
burden, but I guess I'm gonna have to let the storm.
Norman, he opened the doors of the Shining Hotel. No, that was actually Wendy. But yeah, the doors got opened of the Shining Hotel, and then the storm got let in.
You dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball on the carpet like his son Danny, and drop the ball is a phrase, right? What does drop the ball mean again? I forgot.
It means to kind of just... You're supposed to... You work on something, but then you kind of just throw it together last minute, and it's really just a big disappointment.
Yeah. You drop the ball on the carpet. The carpet is the shining pattern.
All on the carpet.
Then fucking play with me, Norman. Because we have this scene with the twins in The Shining where he's like, play with... Oh, like the girl twins say, like, play with us, Danny. Play with us. So I thought, like, you drop the ball on the carpet. Well, then fucking play with me, Norman. It's like a little...
Me, Norman! Spineless bias.
The weird phrasing here, but I like the rhyme scheme. The spineless biased child. I don't know why I said biased. I could have said any other word there. But the spineless biased child, he is quite smart.
Child will
bring the crisis I'm divining. When the crisis I'm divining.
The crisis I'm divining. It only takes a lifeless mind.
I don't know why, but I like this line a lot. It only takes a lifeless mind to give your mindless life a shining. So Norman developed all of the life and happiness out of his mind throughout the series, which turned into a pretty fucking brainless life, if that's what you can call it. Like a life without sense. And it only takes a lifeless mind to give that a shining.
To give your mindless life a shining. I'll flip you in your...
I'll flip you in your... Daddy, just... Yeah, that's basically what he was all about, right?
Your spirit's like...
Keep
calm and pass about to mommy, she can...
Basically, Norman, whenever he has these fits of his mom persona clicking in, he always pussies out and is like, nah, I can't fucking do this. And then lets like his mom handle it in his head. And then he turns into the mom persona. All right, I can handle this. So he's basically just calling Norman a pussy.
Handle this! You're simply full of lust. I know it.
It makes me feel so ill. Norman always shied away when he was on a romantic date. And the feeling of lust always made him feel really pukey and ill. And like, I want to get out of here.
It makes you feel so ill. Still don't have the guts to
face it. So you take them out your roadkill. He doesn't have the guts to actually face real life situations like that romantic aspect of life. That was the whole thing in the Norman Bates series. And then he actually started taxidermy. So he takes the guts out of his roadkill. And I did a little weird spin-off so it connected them like, you don't have your own guts to face that. So you take them out your roadkill to compensate.
Take them out your roadkill. Now you perfectly replicate.
Mm-hmm. His dog died by running on the street. And this is really weird. Like, I used to phrase it super weird back then. But, so he pins the animals on his walls. Now you perfectly replicate in yourself what you pin on your wall.
What you pin on your wall!
And then an empty, anxious little bitch. Because his female dog was pretty anxious and ran on the street. Later then was empty because it got taxidermied. What is the verb for that?
Taxidermized.
An empty, anxious little bit. And he's pretty empty in his head, you know.
The anxious little bitch.
They ripped his soul with what he caused. God, what a weird double meaning. So the dog ran on the street. His whole soul got ripped apart. The whole body got ripped apart because what he caused, I'm just saying, because he caused himself to run on the street, but I could have phrased it way better. which Norman kind of replicates himself into. He's a little empty, anxious little bitch that ripped his soul apart by what he caused by himself. But no, the only problem with like that line, like the idea of the line is actually pretty sick, but nobody's inherently gonna get that because there's not that many people that actually watch Bates Motel, especially in my audience.
Soul is what he caused. Mother, what's the plan?
Mother, what's the plan?
Here's the jack off till the game's
till the
won.
game's won. Talks to his mother. The mother appears in this scenario that only he can see, which is himself there. And it's the dead voice talking to him.
The reverse writing to the Torrance is getting red.
Red rum was on the mirror in The Shining. The line literally just says, yeah, there's no need to write it in reverse, which doesn't really say anything. That's the problem. But it's just it just wants to mention the fact that there was red rum in the movie, which means murder backwards, and to know that Torrance is getting. Maybe I could interpret it as like there's no need to complicate the writing to know that Torrance is getting murdered at the end. You play with your work, but it's feeling disturbed. There was the thing that he put like on the papers repeatedly, just like what was the sentence? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, or something like that. That's what I wanted to put in here. But it was feeling disturbed. Think of more than one sentence and write it, because he only wrote one sentence repeatedly.
More than one sentence and write it. Are you finally willing to try to confront it? And I get a double excited.
I don't know why I wrote it like that, but I think it was one of those like, or am I getting you excited, man? Or did I get a dull boy excited? Just kind of like an intimidating phrase, but it's nothing really casual.
I know it's not my place to get involved.
I know it's not my place to get involved in, because he doesn't want to involve himself into family drama. And I think he actually said exactly that sentence in the series, which I was like, actually, I could use this as like a character thing to characterize it. But you get nothing but your Everest and Spare evolving. What does Everest mean? I googled it back then and it kind of fit.
It's the tallest mountain, the highest peak.
Yeah. Oh, because like they're on a high mountain, I guess so. What gave you the idea of Norman fast rapping? His crazy mind development, because he has these kind of fast lightning strokes that it's not like an actual stroke. It's just like the second persona comes up with the mother. Also to keep the flow interesting. If it was slow the whole time, it would have been a little uninteresting to me. And Despair evolving.
Despair evolving.
Till you only believe in everything.
Even everything you ever made is that the battle's empty, you gotta solve it.
At the end of the story, he just wanted to drink, and thought that the alcohol would solve his problems and drown them. Doesn't say more than that. I'm packing a weapon.
Just listen,
I know this whole feeling is filling your guilt. Says the same thing. He knows he feels guilty about the stabby movements.
So feeling is filling your guilt. You showered in.
I like this bar actually. You showered in self-deprecation as like a metaphor.
Self-deprecation and when
You get stabbed by the story you built, which is like I show in the video showing the shower scene of Psycho, which I wanted to reference, and then getting stabbed in the shower. So he showered in self-deprecation and then went to get stabbed at the story of Bill because he died by his own fucking causes. A little too metaphorical maybe to get an easy understanding out of it, but gets the point across.
Get stabbed by the story you built.
You crafted your
Your own trial. Full of wrath and envy.
It says the same. It says the same as the line before, but wants to elaborate on the story.
The labyrinth was a game, but player one wasn't ready.
I really, really wanted to mention Ready Player One because I love the Shining scene in Ready Player One, which was one of the only movies to properly like get back into that feeling and show how that movie developed. Oh, I love that scene. The labyrinth was the game, but you were player one and you weren't ready. Self-explaining.
Keep your basement locked after silencing
Yeah, Norman Bates literally keeps his basement locked with his mommy inside.
Mommy, there won't be secrets behind closed.
There won't be secrets behind closed doors when here's Johnny, because he literally slices the door open, so he also opens up a Norman secret.
Doors when here's Johnny. Light of your life, you're turning your home to hell.
That was a line that Jack said during the scene when he attacked Wendy up the stairs with the baseball bat. It was like, "You're the light of my life." And I thought, like, okay, this has some meaning. I want to use that, like, just the light of your life. You're turning your home to hell.
Oh, so many holes.
Because he never really has, like, a light in his life because he kills them all. Light as in, like, fiance. Peep, so many holes in the wall. Call it Masturbates Motel. Actually, Norman peeked through, like, a little picture hole in the wall in order to see a naked lady in the next room and then masturbated to that. So that's self-explaining, and I like the pun of Bates Motel to Masturbates Motel. Had to be done.
Masturbates Motel. Your mom wrecked social
contact within the feminine context. That's the weirdest possible fucking way I could have phrased that. Who says within the feminine context? Norman's mom always forbade him female social contact, because she was very prude. I don't know.
I mean, how's dinner?
And she thought that girls would use him. How's dinner with a corpse in your Oedipus complex? Yeah, he had an Oedipus complex to be into his mom, and he was alone with his mom's corpse in the kitchen, and I think the rest is self-explaining that I don't...
With her corpse and your Oedipus complex. It doesn't matter who you
It doesn't matter who you mess
with. You'll stay obsessed and desperate. Your mind is your own maze, and you will never find the end.
Yeah, Norman never really found the way out of his crazy self. And it's, again, like the ending of the Norman verse to mirror upon. Your mind is your own maze, and you'll never find the exit while he's standing in this maze. And I really like this 3D model that Sean made for me. Could use a little less blue on this, but it's fine. Those are the lyrics. Not the best work from today's standard, but that's what I liked back in 2019, and I'm proud of my character study and that I wrote this one alone back then. Now I prefer to write in groups because that's why I'm able to bring the battles out that fast, because many people are editing, many people are writing, and I am putting my effort into each one as much as I can. That's the video. Let me cut
very
that
well.
here.